Hello, it is I. Welcome to my channel, welcome back if you are not new around here, and if you are, my name is Emma Van Grieken. I am an author and an artist, and this is where I share my writing journey alongside my process of motherhood, mindset, and intentional living. So if that's for you, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss a video. Today I'm going to be breaking down my writing journey and what has changed since I had a baby almost 4 months ago, which is crazy. I can't believe that was 4 months ago, but here she is. She's swishing back and forth in her little swing off screen, having a good time. Let's have a chat. Back in October of 2024, I published Seasons of Life, which is my debut book. It is a collection of poetry, short stories, and 2 small novels alongside a scrapbook-style photography collection. The main thing I wanted to do with this book was share poetry in a way that doesn't resemble modern poetry, because I'm gonna be totally honest, I don't like modern poetry, and I really dislike how modern poetry books are just blank white pages with this tiny little bit of text, and then that's the entire book. So what I did was I wove the chapters of the 2 short novels throughout the entire book and put poems in between. So this is not meant to be something where you just open up here and you pick it up. Like, I'm actually in the middle of a chapter if I just randomly open it. And then over here there's a couple different poems. So there's a narrative structure to the book that gives it a chronological feeling, and you're meant to read it from start to finish. I wanted Seasons of Life to be like nothing you've ever seen before, and it really is. It is more like a scrapbook than a poetry book. It's more like a scrapbook than a novel, but it's not quite a novel. It's interesting, it doesn't fit into any category, but people who have been reading this book really enjoy it. They tell me that they get this awesome feeling from going through it, like I'm putting something that they feel into words that they've never been able to describe before. So if that sounds interesting for you, check it out down below. This book is almost 6 months old, which is insane, but you know, after 10 years of working on it, that's nothing. So that is where Seasons of Life is at right now. I originally planned that after I launched the book, I was going to do some kind of self-made tour. Then I had a baby, so I'm in a very different mindset now than I was then. That said, I do want to plan a couple in-person events for Seasons of Life. I have a goal of 3 in-person events for 2025, and next month is June, so I guess that's all gonna happen June to December. We will see. I will keep you posted on what those events look like, and I'm sure that you'll see footage of that as well. Moving on, where am I with my fantasy book? You may or may not know, but I have been working on an epic fantasy novel since November of 2022. I started it with National Novel Writing Month. I made it 46,000 words in, and then I just kept on writing. I finished the first draft in October of 2024, the same month that Seasons of Life came out. Last year, 2024, that was my year of completion. I had so many projects open, I just wanted to bring them to a close. That ended up being around 165,467 words, give or take. That's probably not an exact number. If it is, I'm gonna be really impressed. Go me go. I am now about 18,000 words into draft 2, and my goal for this one is to end up somewhere around 100 to 120,000. What is changing from draft 1 to draft 2? Draft 1 was basically like taking sand and putting it in a box so that I know what's actually going on. But basically, draft 2, I am working more on structure and plot. Draft 1, I was working mainly on who are these characters, what's going on, where are they gonna end up, what does the world look like? Basically just painting a very rough and bad, immature picture. Now that I'm in draft 2, I am structuring things. I'm starting to put them in a better order. I'm a chronological writer, so I don't have to worry about moving scenes around, but things are definitely developing now that I know the characters, I have a sense of what their arc is gonna look like, and I actually know what the plot is. I am a plotter. I have learned to be a plotter through writing this book. I didn't used to plot, I used to just fly by the seat of my pants. I genuinely think that as a writer, you need to have some sense of where it is that you are going. There's definitely a time and place for flying by the seat of your pants and just writing with inspiration, but honestly, I don't rely on inspiration or motivation to get things done. I have a direction that I'm going so that every single time I sit down, I know where it needs to go. That also helps me to jump in whenever I can to write a little bit. And this is part of how I managed to get to 18,000 words in 3 months with draft 2 and a baby. I am a big fan of slow and steady progress. I don't think that just because you feel called to to something creative, you need to sit down and do it all at once. That just doesn't work. It puts too much pressure on. Personally, in the past when I've done giant sprints of writing and then gone a while without writing at all, the writing ends up being really messy. Now that I'm going slower with my writing, I have more time to think about it when I'm not looking at the page, so that when I sit down and I look at the page, all the ideas that have been there the entire time just come. I'm never sitting down and staring at a blank page. So that's a quick chat on inspiration and motivation. Let me know if you want to see more videos on that. I would love to chat about not relying on inspiration to keep moving towards your creative goals. But if that's not your thing and you just want to see more videos on my actual writing, let me know that as well. Anyways, that said, draft 2 is also really interesting because I have decided that I'm going to let my husband read this over. Draft 1 was so incredibly messy that I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to let anyone even take a look at it. I remember my husband opened it at one point and started reading it out loud, and I was like, no, don't! But here we are with draft 2. So what I really love is he is a red pen person like I am. So my husband is actually going through my draft with a red pen and commenting. What that's giving me is a sense of how to evolve the book as I'm writing it, and then giving me the freedom to not have to go back and edit right away. My husband is going through after I write a few chapters, and he's using a red pen to break down what he really likes and where it feels clunky enough that he falls out of the story. And we just talk about it, we go through it. It's really fun. It's like a bedtime routine. When I give him a couple chapters, he goes through, he marks it up, and then we review it. I really love that I have someone to look at draft 2, and I love that it's someone who is such a voracious reader. My husband just finished Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archives, and he started it, I think he started it in October and finished by the end of January. He got the last book in the Stormlight Archives the day after our baby was born. So he got this book January 21st, and he was done it by the beginning of February. This book is about 1,300 pages long. I don't know how he did it. He just eats books. But that said, he's read a lot. He's read a lot of sci-fi, he's read a lot of fantasy, so I trust his judgment as he's going through, and then I'll go back and I'll have a guide on what it is that I need to edit. It'll just make draft 3 easier. What does my writing routine look like now that I have a baby? That is an excellent question. I don't have one. I've actually never really had a writing routine. I'm not the kind of person that sits down and writes at the same time every single day. I write whenever I can, as often as I can, and that's my rule. When I notice that I'm procrastinating on Instagram Reels or I'm watching too much of the Gilmore Girls, I switch what it is that I'm doing and I write. And it's usually sometime during the day while she's napping, and she's usually napping on me, so it's not a big deal. So that is the big overview update of where I am with my books and what my writing looks like these days. This was a little bit of a shorter video, but I really just wanted to film this. I've been meaning to do this for a while. I haven't updated you on my writing progress for a bit. It's fun, it's going good. I intend to get another couple pages finished this month, which I'm really excited for. And my goal overall is to finish draft 2 by the end of summer, if not by the end of the year. I've got a baby who really wants to chat with me right now, so I am going to go. Again, like this video if you want to see more videos like it. Let me know down below if you want to see more videos about my writing journey, or you want some mindset tips for creativity, inspiration, and motivation. And subscribe so that you don't miss a video when I share them. I'm a bit sporadic with when I post, but I promise that I am here and I'm very excited to keep sharing my creative journey. I will see you again in the next video. Bye!